We already discussed genres, market overview. Now let's go deeper and talk a little bit about the product. The main conclusion from my first report was the highest competition. The competition is really high. And I want to decompose two titles, trendy titles, because I see that again and again, many developers all over the world, they make the same mistakes in terms of content delivery, in terms of first flow, in terms of progression. And I understand that it is because no one really treats carefully the composition of successful titles. Yeah, it is boring, but it is the only way how it should work. I mean, in a very detailed way. Probably everything you will hear, maybe some obvious things, but it's going to be a draft, it's going to be a pipeline you can use when decompose titles. Let's see what I mean. I'm going to start with Idle Arcade game, since Idle Arcade is very trendy in terms of in-app monetization, in terms of volume of the market, and just raise your hand if you ever tried to make Idle Arcade game. Okay. Almost half. That's why we will, one moment. Okay. We will decompose my Mini Mart game. Since it is the biggest Idle Arcade game right now in the industry, if we speak about 2022, not in terms of in-app revenue, unfortunately, My Little Universe performs better, but the composition of My Mini Mart will be more interesting because it has some not obvious game design solutions. It's not only about good production, because My Little Universe has awesome production and as well awesome game design, but we will stay on My Mini Mart. Still, it is one of the best titles in this subgenre. My Mini Mart was published at the end of 2021, but the growth was during 2022, and it has now more than 70 million downloads, as well as lifetime revenue, more than $2 million, which is a decent number for hyper-casual game. And even right now, monthly downloads in 2023 is about 3 million, and in-app revenue more than 100K, which is also pretty good for hyper-casual game. Okay. My Mini Mart starts with a control tutorial. Nothing special there. I will not spend time here. Even if you haven't played it yet, I think everything will be clear. My Mini Mart is a game about management of chain resources, actually. And if you have chain resources manager game, you have to onboard the user the way user dive into this cycle of managing resources and building this chain. And My Mini Mart has perfect flow within these terms. It starts with tutorial control, nothing special, but what is interesting, everything is indicated by an arrow within the first flow. Everything is clear in game. On the first screen, you can see that before this first screen, actually, we bought cash box, where user receives cash soft currency, even without customers. After that, user opens on the second screen this rack with tomatoes, only after that. And no more resource spot. So we open tomato rack, where tomato should be deployed, but tomato spot itself will be opened later. It seems not logically, but it's a fantastic solution. I will explain later, you will be surprised. Usually I see vice versa. Developers create resource spot so that you collect some resources, and after that you put that resources to deployment spot. Here vice versa, and it is a brilliant solution. But okay, I have the first resource chain. I have tomato, I have to pick it, put into the rack, and what is more important, within this first flow, first cycle, I do not run more than 2 seconds within the first chain. Widespread mistake when you force user run more than 5 seconds somewhere far from the resource spot, it makes me crazy. You have a game about resource management, but finally it is like a simulator of running around and hustle around. So okay, customers take tomatoes and go to cash box. Look at the experience, even how these tomatoes dropped into the box. We have smooth animation here. Everything feels so good, so juicy. Even cash box experience is not boring. Also, widespread mistake when you deploy resources or take soft currency for something. It is made without any animations and not obvious what's going on. But here we have like this tomato is jumping into the box is packed, and the customer go away. Animations. So animations and short distances within first cycle. Okay, after that we see once we open a tomato, once we have the first cycle, we need only maybe 2-3 times walk through this cycle to have enough money to open a second, as you see here, a second tomato spot. But it is not interesting. What interesting? Once we opened another spot, the camera on the first screen is moving to show you a new spot opened. This feature with camera movement is actually needed when you have small location. And my Mini Mart, it is a game about small location, because user actually already a lot of noise on the screen, UI elements, customers, and if you have, for example, in comparison with My Little Universe, by the way, there is no noise on the screen, only exploration, and My Little Universe do not has any hints and any camera movements, because while exploring you will find anyway. Here another thing, if you have a pretty small location, you have to move the camera and show user that $10 more and you can open something new. Okay, I open something new, and what I opened is gonna be rack with the eggs, but I don't have eggs. What does it mean? Developer forced me to play again the previous cycle without giving actually new content. So before I played this chain with tomato, when I pick up tomato, put it to the rack, 2-3 times to collect enough money to open. I suppose that probably a new experience, but I have enough money. I open deployment spot, but not spot with the resource. I have $20 more to collect to open it. Okay, I will collect them. I collected. I opened chicken spot. And what I see, I'm not just receiving a new chain resource. I made my previous chain resource even deeper. I have to put this tomato to the chicken. No one cares whether chicken eats tomato. It is funny. Chicken gives me egg. I should take the egg to the rack, and customers enjoy the experience and bring me money. Fantastic. That's what I mean by how developers treat game design. How they force users play, and without acquiring any new experience, actually. But okay, I open chicken spot. I see that again, I have something new to be opened. Every time there is exploration. It's fantastic. It is a small location game, but you have feeling of exploration. Shelver. I don't know what is shelver in English, for example, but I see everything is well indicated. I understand that probably he will help me with some routine. And yeah, that's how it works, actually. Next slide. Okay. Once I opened the shelver from the previous screen, it is this funny guy, Pink. He helps me with my routine. Okay, game is not so stressy. I can focus on my resource management. because it is about tension. It is about ups and downs. And right now, we make user not so stressy, because there is a shelver who starts helping you. And again, I see that I can open something new. Okay, I collected enough money. I opened the rack. Again, the rack. And again, I have to collect $25 to open resource spot. What's going on? Again, developers forced me to play the previous 2 cycles. No one cares whether the user is boring. No, he's not boring, he's motivated. He's motivated because he opened this rack. He understands that something interesting here, a new rack in a can, and probably I have to move further. And I move further. I collect $25 more, and I open Blender. And what I see that my chain resource becoming even deeper. Now I can take 1 tomato consumable and put it into rack for tomato, fat to chicken, or put to blender and make a ketchup. And after that, put it to the rack with the ketchup. So it's very deep chain of resources. And I see after that there is a new spot for really huge money, huge sum of money, $95. At this stage, it is a pretty high number. And I just understand that if it's something expensive, probably something big. And it seems like it's going to be a new area, because before that, all the spots to be unlocked were within the first location. Now we see that it's going to be prolongation. It's going to be something that let me make my location wider. But okay, let's move further. As well as when I have this new spot to be opened, I also have a cashier to be opened. And I also understand that it is something that will help me with my routine, because once again, we make the stress a little bit lower. We allow our user focus on managing the resources, not receiving cash, because yeah, good animations, but finally probably it will become boring. And I see the first dilemma. Once I open cashier, there is a new spot, there is a new chicken spot, so that I can be more effective. I can fat chicken faster with tomatoes and receive eggs, and it will let me earn even faster. But it is the first dilemma. I have $50 for second chicken, or 95 for something new. Okay, I decided to buy second chicken so that I can move further faster. And but before that, yeah, once again, we can take a look at this resource chain, and we will continue with content flow. Resource chain is really deep. Tomato can be put to tomato rack, to cashier, and as you see, can be fed to chicken or can be taken to blender. Right now, in 2023, it is an amazing time for experiments, because you can make in your games, if it's about managing resources, you can make the craziest resource chains. It can be even deeper. But the only problem is that it shouldn't be boring. It shouldn't be too complicated. And everything depends on setting. In this setting of products, it is the best, probably the best combination when we have 3 lines, not so deep to be boring, and not so complicated to lose yourself among all of these management stuff. Let's move further. Once we open this big area, for $95, we see a new element, trash bin. Everyone knows who knows a little bit about Idle Arcade that trash bin allows you to drop some resources you don't need anymore. And also mistake when developers give trash bin from the very beginning. From the very beginning, trash bin is gonna be a noise on the screen, because everything is clear you don't have any dilemmas, any problems when you have to drop resources you don't need. And we opened trash bin. Actually, trash bin is a poor gameplay experience. However, once we opened this new location, we received trash bin for free, and we received possibility to open new resource spot. We opened it for $60. Again, it is the rack. Again, it is for deployment. But we see that it looks like not something connected with tomato. Anyway, you understand that it's going to be maybe a new chain of resources. And it is. And once again, yeah, of course, developers forced us to play again and again because without any new experience. But okay, we collected everything. We open a new resource, as you see. And we understand that finally it is a new chain resource, not connected with tomato. As well, deep. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to overview all the chain resources. The logic is the same, about 2 or 3 lines. Sometimes they will even intercross in the game. But anyway, it is the approach. It is the approach of developers, how they feel their game and how they feel their game design and how they feel why users should play your game and remain in the game. And it is actually fantastic. After that, user will build 2 or 3 more chain resources within this first location. And what's going on? What's going on further? Finally, we have possibility to collect enough money and move to another market. Yeah, it's gonna be maybe at playtime 30 or maybe 40 minutes. It depends, as well as it depends whether you donate. It depends whether you watch rewarded videos. But anyway, it is mid-goal. It is not short-term goal. Finally, you have opportunity to collect enough money and move to another market. What does it mean? It means to avoid all the noise on the screen you had before. And even with the same types of resources, even with the same, no new content there. Yeah, you can see here milk. You can see here something else, but milk already was at first location as the last chain resource. And you just start building everything the same. Yeah, there will be some new resources, but it allows you to save content. It is about pure game design experience. It is about forcing users to play your game without giving them a lot of content. However, what about content? Pretty decent amount of content, I would say. Animations, types of products, and it is what to do. Because when I see how developers do idle arcades is not about hustling around and collecting something. Now, if you want to do idle arcade, you have to provide user with a lot of animations. No need to overload with a lot of mechanics, but at least try to force them believe that it is a new mechanic. For example, you have a control drag and move, very well-known input, but when collision occurs with any elements, with any point of interest, give them animations, give them this feeling of new gameplay experience. Actually, the mechanic will not be new. Oh, come on, I have collision with any object and unique animation appears and implemented with some basic rules of specific game. I mean, idle arcades are gonna be very content heavy, and it is the only way to do them. And probably it is all about the product. We can speak about monetization part. Yeah, you see a lot of UI elements, but still they work well. Let's make first some conclusion. Readable tutorial. Everything is clear. We have all the point of interest pointed by arrow. We have good progression, balance, repeatable and variable core loop gameplay. It is what I'm talking about. It is like you have only one control, but you have so many variable elements. How you set the pace of game by yourself. It is what to do. If you do idle arcade game, you should understand that it is like building a sandbox. If you play yourself any sandbox, you want to receive this variability, you want to receive this variable gameplay. And this game has it. Yeah, it may be obvious, but once again, it is mistakes I see again and again. And some developers provide me with prototypes, and even in pitch, they write, main reference, my Mini Mart. But nothing from my Mini Mart, nothing. Nothing in terms of game design, in terms of progression. But they understand what they are writing about. If they take reference as my Mini Mart, probably they played a lot. But when I start decompose prototype, no, I see that probably they played a lot, but not very deep. And feeling of exploration. It is, as well, very good driver for any idle arcade game. Okay, let's proceed with monetization. You have all kind of upgrades for workers, for machines, for animals on the first screen, and not only for soft currency, but as well as for hard currency, such called coupon. And you can buy them by it's real in-app purchases. You can watch rewarded videos. If we speak about market, we have marketplaces. We have speed boosters, some upgrades, cash offers, a lot of offers, and they're valuable. It's not about just providing user with a lot of offers. It is about real value, and value appears when interest appears. So it is obvious, but however, what about other placements? We have interstitials there, very annoying. That's why no ads placement probably works well. And classical rewarded videos like boosters, immediate cash, and so on. Actually, nothing new there. Still, as you see, good performing game, and I believe it is on the first place, being quite average in terms of production, to tell the truth. Nothing special there, but very good game design. It is still my favorite idle arcade game. That's why I decided to decompose it. So it is the way you can do it by yourself. One more title. Save the Doggy. Probably everyone has seen this game. It is the reason why we saw a surge for puzzle games, especially such called power level puzzles. Right now, game has more than 80 million downloads. It was published in 2022, in the middle. Monthly downloads, even right now, 7 million plus. What about in-app revenue? Not now. Not now, probably later. This game is a fantastic phenomenon. Is a successor, or better to say it, derivative to Draw One Part series, you all know of them, and Draw Race by Voodoo. But it became a user acquisition phenomena. Guess what? These creatives are not from Save the Doggy, but from mid-core titles like Mighty Party and others. I mean, they use it as misleading videos. So it is a significant title, and what is important, it appeared in 2022, when everything was so bad. What about the game? As you can see, the game is about situation that might be solved by drawing. Yeah, it is called power level puzzle, but actually it is also can be called like draw to mesh. Means that every outline is turned into a mesh once you draw it. And then physics works. The main juice of the game about algorithms of bees, how bees behavior, and watching outcomes afterwards when you just made something with your finger. So what we have, the scheme. Draw, but save the ink, because a little bit later we will take a look at it. If you save ink, you collect more stars, get stars, unlock new levels, and do the same. So actually, the main, in a nutshell, you make bee-proof barrier between the Doggy 2D character, and just look how the bees attacking him, and they have unique algorithm, and it is really funny to look at it and repeat. That's it in a nutshell. Nothing special there, but a little bit later we will speak about game design itself. The game starts with a lobby. Lobby introduces short looped animated sequence with even, like hints. We see scenario, fail scenario, and that way we teach player what to avoid instinctively. We understand that the bees chase and sting the doggy, and you understand from the lobby what you have to do. There is no straight to session rule. We have a lobby, and we have to click at play button, and as well as we have access to Doggy skins gallery, and we have all these features available from the first launch. What about levels? What about levels? One moment. Yeah. What about tutorial? We have animated finger outlines, the most effective drawing trajectory. What is interesting that it will be repeated again and again until you finally draw the ideal trajectory. And level 1, it is something impossible to lose. You always have 3 stars, so it starts with very low entry threshold level, very low. It is important. After that, you see results screen, and from the very beginning, you start receiving your monetization experience. But I think we will not spend time on it. A little bit later, we will discuss monetization issues. What is important? Level 1, level 2, level 3 are pretty simple. It is like make very low entry threshold level. What about level design and game design? Level 4 is an amazing one because we have here reverse of the basic game rules. We have to protect not the doggy, but the hive with the bees. And it is about variability of the game. User starts understanding how the game is variable, how deep it is. Because even the place where doggy is located and the hive, it is itself very deep and very cool feature of game design. Once again, even if we take this level and we change, we put anywhere doggy, anywhere hive, it will be the same location, but the experience will be different. Because physics works, because you have to do other actions, and it is about game design as it is. It is about puzzles, how they should be built in 2023. Level 5, we first see obstacles, and we go deeper into physics, because doggy appeared. We have 2 doggies, and they appeared, one from the right side, one from the left side, and once you finish your drawing activity, physics starts working, and doggy fell down, and you have to protect them not only from the hive, but also from obstacles. And one more important thing, at level 6, so they just follow one by one. We have such a progression, very interesting one. We give users so many content from the very beginning. Level 6 starts, we understand that outline is physical, and we understand that gravity works well, just without any hint. Of course, probably user will fail sometimes, but finally you understand that doggy fell down and the outline is physical, and you just have to make the way they hang, the way they do not fall, and at the same time they are protected from the bees. So once again, it is about variability, it is about very simple, actually all the types levels are the same. The only difference is the location of the doggy and some obstacles. About first flow for this puzzle game. First 8 levels contain all in-game environment mechanics. As I told you, we give a lot of content from the beginning, so that user is going deep into the basic rules of the game. And what we have here: spikes, water, terrain, alterations, and as well as user starts understanding that we can interact deeper with what we have on our screen. For example, look at it. We do not hang on this outline. We just make the protection the way we do not fall because of physics of the screen, and it works well. Let's proceed. Scalability. What is the main thing? Same story, different circumstances. Basically, what keeps this sticky factor? It is what we already mentioned. So nothing new actually, but different situations and really deep variable core loop gameplay works for itself. This game hasn't changed a lot since initial release, just because this scalability in game design itself is scalable very well. This allows add new content and simultaneously keep user hooked because of what is important, imagery, image of mastery. At least within first flow. At least within first flow, we give user image of mastery. And I really like this graph. It is about game flow. Wait, I got to make the prediction. Image of mastery. Hold on a second. There are obstacles. Never mind. Oh my God. Never mind. Just draw around and repeat. Even if it is a fail, it will be funny experience. It is about variable core loop gameplay. And it is a game design phenomenon. It is about not standard puzzle pipeline. It is about not standard puzzle gameplay. First minute user experience, quite comprehensive, actually, and guides the player through all the basic mechanics, and it doesn't leave any space for creativity. Probably it can be considered as a minus of the game, but everything starts later, after level 20. The player has to keep the ink level at appropriate level to receive stars, because stars will give you possibility to move further. We'll discuss it in monetization part. And what is important, that almost 99%, the most obvious solutions are not most effective. And it is about level design approach. It is about amazing level design approach. So save the doggy at its place for some reasons, for reasons of good level design. Difficulty progression, not linear. There are some relief levels so that you create tension, ups and downs. It is also important if you have skill-based games at all, for every game. And one more thing, that environment limits the amount of available solutions due to the physics. Physics works well. And Beast behavior comes into full play after level 20, because they push this outline, and it is also about result that can surprise our users. Let's move further. What about monetization? It is monetized pretty traditionally. However, it is content savvy, monetized via content. You have to collect stars to open the content. It is not a standard solution, actually. And one more interesting thing, because the game doesn't treat tips as consumables, so that you have no possibility to collect tips during simple levels and use them when situation becomes harder. And as well as you have a possibility to receive, to upgrade your stars, it is obvious. Replay is free, because session is short. It is also important thing that should be noticed if you making puzzle game. And doggy skins, they do not play any role. However, they look really funny. Moreover, we have here interstitials before start of each level, and moreover, even from the first level, if you have a special pace, not fast, you will receive just during the first level ads as well. What about rewarded videos? Everything pretty simple. we can up the stars, we can unlock a whole new chapter, get extra dog coins, double coins, and tips within level. That's why we cannot collect them. User better watch rewarded video. And so probably if you make puzzle game with real value, with such a big value, and I believe that it is great value, you can be more brutal to your users and force them watch rewarded videos for tips. If we speak about general conclusion, yeah, there are some inconsistencies. However, the game is awesome, and the core mechanic the core mechanics gives you unbelievable variable gameplay. It is very scalable. It is easy to put new content here. And of course, probably the marketability is very low since even big titles are still, as you can see, use in their misleading campaigns creatives from that game. So, and once again, about chances and about hyper-casual industry. The game appeared in middle of summer and gave birth to dozens of clones. So yeah, right now it is 70 million downloads, but it is the original one. If we take all the clone games of this one, we will receive maybe 70 more millions. And yeah, and still it appeared in 2022 when everything was so bad. So actually, it is all. I spent more time actually than I had to. It is just some basic rules, probably how you can decompose your game. You can just be more attentive to details. If you want to decompose something, just write down everything, every positive moment you have in the game. And I believe it will work.